Hi YouTube. What do we have here today? So I'm very excited because I just got this delivered yesterday from Amazon. What we have here is a Masterbuilt smoker 30-inch. This is the second generation, and on top of being the second generation, it's I think the version 2.2 because this is the updated generation 2 model. If you notice from the picture of the box, it's missing, or it no longer has the handle, and I think it has the vent on the top. But let's unbox it. And before we unbox it, another thing we get to check out is I also ordered a cover for it. So we'll see how that all fits together in a second. I've seen people unbox it a few different ways. I saw someone unbox it bottom first, so let's give that a try. And so I've seen a few of these videos myself, and it turns out this is packaged really well. So we'll see. What we're working with here. Oh, it looks like you got the back of the model. So the back is pretty plain. Here's our plug. Let's turn it around. And there's the front of it. Let's get it off of the styrofoam so we can open that door. Okay, let's open it up so you can see what it looks like. It's got really nice latch, and yep, I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't look like there's any dings. Came through really nice. Might be missing some legs. So yep, as I anticipated, everything comes in packaged really nice. There's a lot of zip ties, as I heard. Let's see what fun things come in here. There's a few boxes. So let's see what you get here in the Masterbuilt. So here, this looks like the tray for the wood chips. And there's going to be some assembly, so we'll set those to the side, see what that's for. Okay, so this is going to be for the bottom of the unit. There's a drip tray, a removable drip pan, a drip tray at the bottom that we'll be installing. And I have an idea that that's what this is here. So a few more molding pieces, and here is what's synonymous with Masterbuilt. Here is our cylinder for inserting wood chips so you can keep the door closed on the smokehouse, on the smoker, sorry. Some metal bars, I think they go there for the bottom of the unit. What else do we have? We have an instruction manual, which I will read, I promise you. And a lot more zip ties, so let's take care of that. Trying to be careful. I know some people use box cutters, but trying to be careful not to scratch up. Trying to be careful and not scratch any of these these racks here, you want to keep them as nice as possible. Okay. I guess I should have counted. It is a lot of zip ties. There's 8 just here, plus probably another 4 or 6 from before. So, got some more styrofoam. This is very nicely packed. Let's see what else we find in here. There's one last box. Let's see what we have. Oh, this is I believe this is the water tray. Yep, it's the water tray, and there's a line right here to let us know. So in addition to being a water tray with this there's a slanted piece of metal here that will help catch the dripping. In addition to being the water pan, it will also act as a way to catch some more of those drippings and keep them from spilling to the bottom. So there's a few systems here that will help catch the dripping. And then at the bottom, and then just at the bottom here, it's the rest of the pieces that we're looking for. It looks like drip tray. So here's the drip tray that will go under the unit, and then here is the dripping pan that goes at the bottom, right by the smoking element. This will go in the unit versus this one will go outside of the unit. Here's a little hole we always see videos. I've seen videos on. We'll cover this with aluminum, punch a little hole, and then this will drip into the outside of the smoker at the bottom. So that's what that looks like. Yep, so I'm not sure how well you can see the smoker because of the glare, but that's everything that comes in this smoker. I have to take off a little bit more styrofoam, but that's it. So I'm gonna turn off the video in a second, read some instructions, figure out how to attach some of these bottom pieces. I notice it's slanted right now, so this is obviously part of the key to make sure it's level. And look forward to doing a review soon of this guy in action. I'm hoping to buy a brisket later this week. Oh, and that's right. Let's take a look. Let's close it up real quick, even though the legs aren't on, even though I haven't attached the front piece just yet. Let's take a look at this cover that I bought. It is also the Masterbuilt brand, so I'm assuming it should fit like a glove. Let's see what we have here. Some more information to read. I'm sure I will. And this is what it looks like. Yep, I mean, you can't ask for a better fit, right? So that's the Masterbuilt Smoker 30-inch Generation 2.2. I'm calling it. We'll see what the actual name is, and the cover. So I'll get the other pieces armed on. We'll take a look at that later, and I'm hoping to do a brisket video later in the week. Thanks. Alright, so what we got here, we're back at you with the Masterbuilt 30-inch Generation 2 smoker, and there's a little bit of assembly, not much really at all, but we have we got one box of screws with 2 sets, some thread, some black screws and some silver screws, some little smaller ones. So let's see what we have to do to get these attached. So the things we're going to be putting on are these front plastic legs. There's these other side, I think, covers, and then some thinner metal brackets that will also be going underneath. So let's let me get out of your way here. You can see a little bit of what the underneath the smoker looks like. It's got some little legs here that are adjustable, and with a nut to really, once you get it to the height you need it, you can tighten the nut. These in the front here are not going to be adjustable. Once they're on, you don't have control to help you level this thing. But let's see what these look like fitting on. So first it says we're going to go with the instructions say screws A, which would mean the very first ones here. Oh, in fact, they're marked A. That's always convenient. So let's take out A. So typically a screwdriver is better for this than a drill. However, this drill does have a little bit of control as far as torque is concerned, so I'm not concerned with over drilling and using too much power installing this, because this is plastic and the last thing I want to do is ruin the smoker. But luckily this Craftsman drill does a little bit of control. So let's Yep, that's looking good. And so there's 1, 2, 6 for each of these panels, so let's get that going. And you heard that clicking? That was the drill telling me it's reached its capacity. I might even go through with the screwdriver to kind of get it that human touch, right? That was Annie who just went by. Isn't she adorable? You gotta pay the pet tax, right? We're gonna get a little more I probably shouldn't tighten all the way until I get at least all the screws more than halfway in, right? Might be time for a new battery. Okay. Time for a new battery. Let's take a break. Okay, I'm back with another battery and a screwdriver set, so that I still don't want to go maximum torque with the drill. That one's being stubborn, but I'm afraid to go too deep with the drill. Alright, good. Let's turn it over just a little bit. Hope you can still see it there. Yep. We'll go with the other leg. last one was being stubborn. Okay. Now that we have those leg attachments, still screws in. Now we use screws B, and we're gonna put in, looks like these pieces here. It's asking us to remove the adjustable leg screws. One. And there's two. Which makes so, I'm assuming this hole here, and from that diagram, I am correct. So that one goes on this side, and this one go on this side here. Yep, alright. Fits in very easy. Let's do the same thing with this other side. Alright, let's get screws B now. Okay. I think we're even going even lower on the torque in these. They are holes, but I also see that it's some foam there, so I'd rather not go too tight. That looks nice and seamless, so we'll continue putting the screws in. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 screws. All right. Yep. Fitting nicely. And it looks like we can put that leg back on. That's the lowest torque I got. I really don't want to, this is just a covering. I don't want to go too tight on there. Let's try the screwdriver anyway. Yeah. And let's get one of those legs back on. That seems pretty flush. We'll do a final adjustment on that once I figure out where exactly I'm going to be putting the smoker. I have a few options, and I want to see what they look like before I make my final decision. So a few more screws to go on. That last one on both of these kind of tight. Good. Let that last leg go. Ah. So now we're just putting the last leg on after we had both of those plastic covers. Get it just about looking flush. All right. Let's look at the instructions because we still have these two brackets and I'm not 100% sure where they go, so let's find out. I'm assuming they'll be for sliding this unit in right here. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, yep, I see some holes right here. That's probably where they'll go. I think in the instructions, that those were already, that's interesting. So, these instructions, well, actually, it was the first step in the instructions which I missed, but better late than never, as they say, right? So let's put on the brackets that will hold the drip tray that slides in. In true Gerardo fashion, it looks like I am going to have to remove these pieces in order to attach this. So I make quite a mistake. Well, drill's not going to work for that. Yep, alright. So, let's take a look. Well, might as well do this other one too, just so we can see what it'll look like, right? go. And let's see how that slides in. Yep, slides in nice. Great. I have to remove these legs and put in these screws that are missing there. And let's take a look at the instructions, I think. Yeah, that was step one. That's quite an oversight on my part, isn't it? And then it's just assembling the rest of the components that that I removed from the inside, just so I can lay it on its side, right? So there you go. That really didn't take too long at all to build, right? All right, I should have filmed this, but the instructions. Granted, I glanced at the instructions. Obviously, I made a mistake earlier and I had to screw in the brackets first for the drip tray, but I corrected that mistake. Also, I noticed, so here there's a hole right here at the bottom of this electric smoker. This is where the drippings are going to come out of and then go into this tray here, right? I noticed there was some foam. It's part of the installation that's used throughout the inside of the smoker. I will review the instructions a little more carefully now that I've partly assembled it, but I don't see that they said anything about removing that, but obviously it needs to drip, so I used my screwdriver to poke a hole in it and remove that material that was blocking. You could tell this is a metal cylinder. It was blocking this. So if I hadn't done that, the instructions didn't say to necessarily remove that piece, that foam, but how would any drippings get down to the bottom here? I don't think they would have. So I removed that. I'll read through a little bit, and maybe in the comments section you can let me know if it's something you experienced with your smoker. But all the screws are attached now. I also went through with my Phillips head screwdriver and tightened all the screws. So it looks like it's good to go now. Other than, of course, assembling the pieces from the inside. Tomorrow I'll be seasoning the smoker. I think I read 3 hours. We'll see what the instructions say. There's a troubleshooting guide plus the instructions, so it should tell me there how to season it. I think it's 2 hours, and then some wood chips for another hour or 45 minutes, so 3 hours total. So I'll take a look at that and see what else I need to do. But for now, it looks like all the components in terms of assembling are now complete. In total, I think it took me 30 minutes, but that's mostly because of some oversights on my part. Other than that, not really difficult to put together, and even with the mistake I made, easy to come back from. So I'm excited to try this guy out, and I'll be doing that soon. Thanks. Okay. Let's call this post-credits bonus round, right? So in addition to so I finished arming the smoker and putting everything that goes back inside the smoker, like the water tray and all those things. We might as well take a look now that it's fully assembled, right? And so all the components are in there now. I see I see a chance of maybe being able to put a packet of aluminum foil wood chips at the bottom there. There's not a whole lot of room, but that's just my attempt to get a little more smoke building inside the smoker. I'll let you know if that's successful or not. Anyway, so bonus round stuff I wanted to talk about. I got some hickory wood chips too, so I'll be using hickory in my smoke. And I'm also excited about two new knives I got. So this one is it's called the bread knife, bread blade, but I'll be using it to cut brisket. And I also got a curved boning knife, which I'll be using to trim the brisket. I've been using just the regular kitchen knife, and even though I sharpened it, it just wasn't able to get in some of that fine detail. So hopefully cutting the brisket will go a little smoother with this guy right here. So thanks everyone. Make sure you give me some comments and let me know what you think about some of the problems I had and see if you experienced the same thing I have.